What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Rochelle, and I'm back with a special update video for you guys. I want to show you guys how I save for travel, and I'm not talking hotel, flights, and that sort of thing. I'm talking about actual cash spending while you are on your travel vacation slash business trip, whatever that might be, what that might look like. And if that's something you're interested in, tune in. So I never usually count them. I just like to see what they look like every 3 months or so. And so let's dive in. If you have any questions about any of the things you see in my videos, links will always be posted down below. I try to link everything, even down to this bomb charm set. And so first up, in my travel binder, what I have going on is 3 sections. So I'll show you that. I have my dashboard and then I have my cash envelopes that are divided out by different categories. I'll share those in a minute. Here's where I keep notes of my spending while I'm actively traveling so that I can remember what I spent. Sometimes I like to use my credit card for large purchases to get those rewards, you know, that cash back or those flight miles. And so I'll leave myself a quick note, jot it down. I usually have a pen right here. And then the next section, this is the second section. This is a newly added feature because I used to keep these in my regular sinking funds bucket. But now, since I don't pay for gas because I don't own a vehicle, I decided to move this to travel because of course we're probably going to rent a car. And if we don't, then we'll probably be spending money on Uber or taxis or shuttles or even the bus. And so for those things, a lot of times I'm able to pay cash. And so that's what you see right here. Another thing that happens when I travel is I usually like to buy gifts for whoever I'm visiting or to bring back to friends who are in Hawaii because they don't get to leave as often. And so I like to, certain things they'll even ask me for because y'all, there's no Trader Joe's here. And so it's a big deal if you can bring back somebody some Trader Joe's cookies. It's like getting your hands on some Girl Scouts cookies. Anyway, that's the second section. And in the back here, these are the specific location-based cash envelopes. So let's start from the front. First up, we have airports. So this is money that I spend. Let's see how much it is. 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks. This is money that I spend inside of the airport. Maybe I want to buy a huge water from the magazine stand, or maybe I want to buy a travel pillow because I forgot mine, or just anything that, you know, those last minute buys that you find yourself spending in the airport. This is what that money is for. So I like to add just a little bit to it because it's not every trip that I end up buying something in the airport. But what I noticed is since we live in Hawaii, when we travel, we spend a lot of time in the airport. So I'm going to start beefing this up throughout the year. Next up is tips. Every time I roll through the airport, there's always somebody trying to grab my bags for me, help me out. And you know how I feel about giving. I like to have tip money at the ready. So, you know, it's a little thick. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, $30 for that. So 30 bucks for tips, that's not bad. And this is, mind you, leftover money that I have left over from traveling. We did have to travel for family, to check on family. My in-laws do live in Mexico, and so we did have a medical emergency with my father-in-law, and so I just like to be ready. I'm starting to realize that travel is not always for fun. You just have to be ready no matter what, and so that's why this has become my new favorite sinking fund, and I try to be as specific as I can with it. If you'd like to see travel videos, travel inspiration, check out my second channel, Rochelle Adamson Travels. I try to post there at least monthly, and help me get to my first 100 subscribers, y'all. You'll be the bomb.com if you do that. Okay, next up is eating out, because you know you're going to eat out on vacation, right? It's a no-brainer. So let's see how much we're working with. We've got 10, 15, 20, $25, and that might seem like a little bit, but for us, when we go away, it's usually to Mexico. And we are able to eat very cheaply in Mexico. We love to eat street food. We don't eat where the tourists eat. We usually stay at a place that offers an all-inclusive option or that has a full kitchen. We do grocery hauls just like how we do at home, and we make it work. And so that way we can go out and eat the foods that we really want to eat. We'll go out to dinner once a week on, you know, as a family, and we'll, you know, go eat a nice dinner. But for the most part, we like to chill at home because we want to eat what we want to eat. Next up is excursions. I highly recommend that you have an excursion bucket, because how many times do you go away and not do some form of a touristy attraction? So if it were me and I was just starting out, I would definitely include an excursions cash envelope. And that goes for a lot of these cash envelopes so far. I would definitely have an airports one, or an eating out one. If you were just starting out, definitely airports and definitely excursions. You will be surprised by how much money you spend in those areas. So you can see it from here. I only have $40 left. It was a medical emergency trip, so we were, you know, just checking on my father-in-law. But on the last day before we did leave, we did do one excursion, and I'm so glad we did it. We did an ATV excursion through the forest, and it was so much fun. I did the ATV part. My brother and sister and my husband, they did the zip lining, and then we all did the cenote. So I didn't jump into the cenote, but you know, I got my feet wet and got in it for a while with my life vest on. Anyway, check out my channel to see more, my travel channel, to see how that went. Next up, the last category in this section is travel miscellaneous. But I cannot tell you guys how many times I pull from this category when we are traveling, because you think you thought of everything and you didn't. Anyway, it's 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks here. The thing that I spent money on from this category is medical supplies, because guess who fell trying to run and act like I was young and sprained their ankle? Actually, it wasn't even a sprain. It was more like I hurt the top of my foot, and I had to have it ace bandaged up, iced up, medicine. And when I tell you it was so cheap, videos coming on that. It was just crazy how cheap it was. Oh, I lied. I thought that was the last category. This is the last category. So a lot of my trips are business trips. And so the name of my business is actually Travels. And of course, due to COVID, it's all put on hold. But this is a newly added category for me since last year, because I realized that sometimes I need to bring business cards like this one. Sometimes I need to go to dinner with someone I'm conducting business with, and I need to have money to pay for myself to eat, and I keep all of that separate. I try to use a credit card for all of that so that it's clear for tax time, and then I will switch over and just, you know, use this cash to cover those purchases. But I don't like to take away from my fun money when I'm doing business, and so that's why this is a must. This is a must. But anyway, I have $30 in there. All right, next up is gas money. Gas, let's see, gas has $10 in it. And gift money, I did bring home a lot of gifts. So I know I'm surprised I even have this left. I have a $5 bill left in gifts. And so I'll be adding to those categories, hopefully March. Now this is the section, y'all. This the one. These categories are a lifesaver. How many times, if you are an avid traveler, how many times do you have to save for multiple trips at once? I highly recommend diversifying your sinking funds for travel and creating sections for them. So I know I'm going to be traveling to Mexico at least once a year, once outside opens back up. So I have a Mexico one. Born and raised Baltimore, Maryland. Of course, some people picked up on the accent in the comments. Shout out to y'all if y'all are from B-More. What's up, DMV? Oh, y'all in the snowstorms. It's not fun. Baltimore. Texas, Lord have mercy. Speaking of snowstorms, I hope everyone is staying as safe as they possibly can and has everything that they need. Please DM me or write comments below if you need assistance in some way, because it's not a game. We have different companies. Actually, my family lives in Texas, and so I'm taking that whole thing very personal. I can forward you some charities and some organizations that are set up to provide relief. So please stay safe. And then Hawaii, the reason why we have a Hawaii one is because we like to have inter-island travel. And so we've been to Maui and we've been to Big Island. And so I do want to get to Kauai and a couple of other islands while we're still living here. So that's what we have there. And the last one is my miscellaneous travel one. This is for the place that I don't know I want to go to yet. I am an avid cruiser. I was back when outside was open, and so this was initially supposed to be for cruising, but you know, life. So those are the 5 categories. So let's see how much we're working with in all of them. I'll start with travel, regular travel. It has $30. And remember, this is after traveling, so a lot of my categories are really on the low side. And if you were really traveling, this would not be enough money to work with. And when I say for cruising, I don't mean paying for the room or paying for the flight. I'm talking about just getting to the cruise ship, or maybe even on the cruise ship. You know how you like to shop in the stores on the cruise ship. I like to play bingo on the cruise ship. Okay, I am that old soul. That's me. That's me. Next up is Hawaii. Hawaii has, let's see, oh, just $20. This was probably the most recent trip other than Mexico. We went to Big Island with friends right before COVID. Oh, the memories, the memories. Texas is also, not only does family live there, but it's my layover state. So I stay here the longest while I'm waiting to catch up to the time difference. We are about 5 hours time difference from everyone else in the world, at least, because Hawaii has its own time zone, y'all. So that's how far away we are from everyone. And so it's pretty much impossible to catch a same day flight from Hawaii to Texas to somewhere else. You probably are going to have to stay over. Sometimes you are able to find that, but not really. Baltimore, I will be going home to check on our property once it's safe to. And until then, we're going to start stacking for that. So $20, $40, $50. I do think this will be my next trip. I'm going to try and swing it in a warm month because I'm not trying to see snow. Last but not least is Mexico. Since we just got back from there, it only has $20 left. I spent hardly no money in Mexico, y'all. I'm telling you, the money that I spend in Texas ran circles around the money I spent in Mexico. That's a whole nother story for another day. But anyway, that's it. That's my account of how I get ready for travel. These are my travel sinking funds for cash spending purposes. And if I do spend anything on a credit card, I dedicate one credit card for that spending, and I cash flow as much of it as possible. Well, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below and show your girl some love with a like. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace, love, and travel. Oh, travel. Wait, peace, love, and travel. I don't know. I need somebody to tell me what I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? Bye, y'all.